Sorry, everyone. Camera seems to be acting up a little bit. Just gonna do a little bit of checking this time, actually see if I will have my audio on. Because I know last time it did not go through because I had my microphone down. So let's see here. Because I know last time it did not go through because I had my microphone down. There we go. We're doing all right, and we are live. Hi everyone, welcome on in. This is Master Log, and we are live with episode 2 of Suhoshin, and it's on a Wednesday night. So I'm actually pretty happy to be back on a Wednesday night. Main reason, you know, nothing super major, just outside stuff. So, but yes, outside of that, we are live, we are in living color, and we are back on with some more of this wonderful game so far. So, without further ado with that, let me just go and take care of some stuff real quick, then I think we should be good to go. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day so far. Oh, hold on. Let me see here. Yes, welcome to episode 2 of, this little thing that, I don't know if I can say it's either a Let's Play or, a walkthrough or just a stream or so, but I figured, you know, why not? We'll have a little bit of fun with it in that meantime. Let's just see here. Perfect. Okay. So, so far so good, I think. Let us see here. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, it's a little bit later at night compared to usual, lately, but I'm glad to be fully back into it. Let's see here. I think we go here for this one. Boom and boom. Perfect. Just gonna take care of a thing or two left, and then we will be right as rain. But yes, today, I don't know. This should be a lot of fun, I think. Let me just take care of one more section, then... There we go. Perfect, and I think we are good to go. Let's see here, let me sit a little closer, then we should be good to go. Okay, let me just move that. Eep. There we go. Perfect. Alright, sorry for the wait, and we're good to go. Alright, so welcome back to Suhoshin. This is episode 2, so without further ado, let us get right into it. Okay. So, last time on Suhoshin, it was a very unique circumstance. We just got back from the main capital of ancient Korea. I think it was Joseon or something. And we met a individual that didn't make any noise when we were setting up our campfire. And as soon as they showed up, they also left just as mysteriously. So, yeah. And now we're just about ready to head back into the village that we would normally call home. So without further ado, let's go right into it with more Suhoshin. I should veer west, skirting the village so that I can stop by my house and drop off my things. After that, I'll be free to catch up with my friends. I don't know, I might do like some of this and then think about probably actually putting on WWE 2K23 for a little bit of something, I'm not sure. Home sweet home. At long last, my journey is over. My house was clean and smelled as fresh as the day I left it. Wow, not a speck of dust to be found. I should thank Suwa for taking such good care of the place while I was gone. Suha was my neighbor and a childhood friend, my best friend, really. When I left home, she kindly offered to keep an eye on the place and tidy up every once in a while. But from the look of things, she had gone above and beyond simply tidying up. I must also be sure to say hello to Mr. Kim. He is the highest-ranking young Bon in the village, and it's all thanks to him that my dreams became a reality. I'm sure Yunbak will be delighted to know I'm back too. He was always so friendly to me, always pushing me toward my dream of becoming a soldier like him. Sorry for the glare. There's not much I can do about that part at this moment. Let's see here. Come to think of it, it might not be a bad idea to invite Suha and Yunbak for a drink of the Jumak tonight. Let's see. Who should I visit? I figured Suha might not be bad. Suha's place. Yuri! You're back? I am. Good to see you, Suha. I just arrived a little while ago. What? What a surprise. I'm so glad to see you. As am I. How are you? You must be tired. Have you had lunch yet? I have not, actually. Lunch is almost ready. Have a seat. We can eat together. I couldn't possibly say no to a home-cooked meal. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that. It's been a few days since I last had a warm meal. Nothing would make me happier. Plus, I brought you a special something from the capital. After everything Suha and I had been through, I knew I couldn't return empty-handed. I took out a package out of my bag and, weird wording, and handed it to her. My bad. Oh, you shouldn't have. What's inside? Open it and see. She carefully opened the parcel, revealing a small jumioni. So, bought it at a fancy shop in Hanyang. Oh boy, we're gonna get into that one later. Sorry about that. I knew that she liked to treat herself every once in a while, and this kind of fashion accessory seemed perfect for her. She cradled the pouch in her hands, beside herself with delight. Wow, I love it, but this is too much. You must have paid a fortune. Do you like it? I absolutely adore it. It's perfect. Thank you so much. No, I should be thanking you. I saw how well you took care of my home. It's so clean. You would never know it lay empty for so long. You're welcome, but it's really nothing at all. You would have done the same for me. Sure. She put her present away and went back to cooking. So now... Oh, never mind. Oh, actually, yeah, no. Let's ask her a few questions just in case, you know, kind of get the lay of the land here a little bit. How's business going? Suha grew her own vegetables and sold them at the market. Since we lived outside the village, there was an abundance of good farmland nearby. I can't complain. I go down to the market every few days. It's enough to get by. It's not always easy, especially in winter, but things could be worse. The good news is that I worked out a deal with one of the Jumaks in the village and have been supplying them with vegetables these past few weeks. It provides with a regular source of income and means less time hanging around the market stalls. It's a great opportunity for me. That's good to hear. Who knows, maybe you can work out a few deals with some of the village young bonds too. Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. They have their own land and their own farmers. They don't buy from the likes of us. You never know. Like I said, I won't get my hopes up. Besides, I I'm on my own out here. I would never be able to deliver my goods that far, unless, of course, you wanted to work with me. Let's save that discussion for later. But I can give you a hand every once in a while, just like before. I'm here whenever you need me, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Alright, so are you still playing music? Do you still play the Zhonggu? Of course. You're still able to find the time? I try to, maybe once a week or so. I often play at home, but every once in a while I'll venture into the village. You play alone? Most of the time, yes, but I also find time for my friend Suni. Or Sune? Something of the sort. It's a good way to relax after a hard day's work. You must have seen quite a few Zhonggu players during your time in Hanyang, no? I did indeed. The capital is very crowded, and they hold all sorts of ceremonies and festivals year-round. I attended several few and saw some very talented musicians. Lucky! Here I am, having never left the village. Would you like to go with me if I ever had the chance to go out to Hanyang again? Do you really think I'd be allowed to accompany you? Sure, let's make a promise. At the first possible chance we get, we'll head there together. Oh, thank you. That's far too kind. I can't wait. I get a little drink real quick, so excuse me. Okay. Do you still visit the children at the orphanage? Interesting. Not sure. Do you still go visit the children at the orphanage? Of course I do. I make regular trips out that way when I can, and I make sure to bring some fruits and vegetables every time I go. I had to visit them too. You know, some of the children asked why you stopped visiting. Did they? Now that you mention it, I guess I did forget to say goodbye. That was rather thoughtless of me. It's alright. I told them all about your plans to set off to the capital and become an officer. I'm glad I have you to rely on. That's another thing I owe you for. Village Orphanage held a special place in both of our hearts since we both were raised there. There weren't very many children living there when we were young, and since we were the same age, we soon became close friends. Suha was the only family I had. At least, that was how I thought of her. I think they look up to you like an older brother. I can't imagine how much they all must have grown. You wouldn't believe, but they're just as adorable still. Sorry, I messed up the wording on that one. Is Mrs. An still in charge of the place? She is. Good to hear. I'll be sure to pay them a visit the first chance I get. They will be delighted to see you. Here you go, Yuri. Lunch is ready. She set out 2 plates for us. The mouth-watering smell of her cooking filled the small house, and I suddenly realized just how hungry I actually was. I mean, it's kind of one of those, like, situations of just, like, the old... kind of, stomach, you know, growling a little bit. I dug in. Suha, your cooking is as excellent as ever! Oh, you're much too kind. It's really nothing to write home about. Not true. You have a knack for taking an ordinary dish and turning it into something extraordinary. How about you tell me what you've been doing all of these years? Don't tell her everything! Okay, no, it's fine. Actually, one of the reasons I came by was to invite you for a drink with me and Yunbak at the Jumak tonight. I was hoping to celebrate my return and tell you both about my trip. What do you think? I think it's a great idea. Count me in. I can't wait to hear all about your adventures. Then I'll see you at the Jumak tonight. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Alright. Is it next? Bleh. Excuse me. We're gonna meet Yun Bok. Or is it Yun Bok? Bok? Something like that. Sorry about it. Dip-a-dip-dip-dip-dip-dip. Sorry, I was just checking something. Uh-oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's go and meet Yunbok. Yunbok? Something like that. Yunbok's house. Yuri! Great to see you, pal! When did you get back? It's good to see you too, Yunbok. I got back earlier this afternoon. So, did you manage to meet the Guagio? Oh, to pass the Guagio. Sorry about that. I did. Wow, really? Congratulations. That's terrific news. Are you here on leave, or are you back for good? I'm back for good, unless I get orders to go somewhere else. Ah, I see. Still, it's nice to have you back, really. It is glad. I am glad to be back. Which means we'll be working together from now on, I suppose. Our little Yuri has become an adult. I remember when I got my first gray hair. It was scary. I've got you to thank for that. You've always been such a great role model for me. Nonsense! This is Yangdong! Sorry. This place is much too small for me to be anyone's role model. I mean, to be honest. Your job here is probably going to be very different from whatever you did in Hanyang. Sorry about that. Anyway, who was your instructor, and what did they teach you? Well... he was an instructor from the Royal Guard. What? The Royal Guard? That is right. I got quite a bit of special treatment. I have been very fortunate. You have Mr. Kim to thank for that, am I right? Yes, that's right. That explains it. Only the Yang Bands, rub shoulders with the Royal Guard, Mr. Kim. Must have put in a good word for you and even fibbed a little and say you were a part of his family. He must really like you. Who knows? In time, maybe he'll even offer you his daughter's hand in marriage. Ha ha ha! Okay, sorry. His daughter? Come on, be serious. You haven't changed a bit. Mr. Kim's daughter was Yuna. Like everyone from the Yongbon class, she's very elegant and refined. But in today's society, unless I was doing a job for them, the elite could hardly be bothered to give a person like me the time of day. Anyway, Yuri, I'm proud of you. You may know more than I do at this point. The master may become the pupil soon enough. I'm not liking the sound of that too much. I wouldn't go that far as to say that. Yunbok was always so fun to be around. He had a great sense of humor and it was impossible to be bored when he was around. I'm just gonna do some checking real quick. It was impossible to be bored. Okay, here we go. That being said, he always took his job very seriously. Those two qualities made him quite popular among the village folk. He knew when to be stringent with the rules, but he never lacked for sympathy. In the capital, officers and soldiers were different, demanding respect and seldom even seen cracking jokes. I was taught that order was of utmost importance when it came to matters of public safety, and instructed in the ways of upholding that order. But at the same time, I realized that such things weren't held in such high regard in a village as small as Yangdong. Yangdong, something of the sort. An officer's priorities were very different depending on when they were stationed, or where they were stationed. And here, our job was to help out the locals as best as we could. Being able to connect with the people we were supposed to serve was an excellent quality in that regard. I knew that Yun Bok would always have the upper hand when it came to people skills. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Sorry, cap's a little weird. How have your parents been? Speaking of, how have your parents been? They're alright. Do they still run that pottery shop in the market? Yep, still going strong. Are they staying busy? From what I hear, I haven't caught wind of any money problems, so there must be a good deal of customers dropping by. Yun Bok was older than me, but when we were children, we used to play together quite often. Sometimes his mother would even cook us lunch. His parents were always very kind to me. I'll be sure to drop by and say hello when I'm free. They'll like that. They ask about you all the time. It's kind of weird, actually. Sorry. Anything of note happen while I was away? If you're asking if anyone has committed any major crimes, then no. Not surprising. Not much has changed. Our town is a small one, boasting a few hundred residents at most. Everyone knows everyone, and there are no major crimes to be committed like the ones you may have seen in Hanyang. We certainly have had our fair share of quarrels between neighbors, but nothing serious. Any notable deaths of people I may have known? No! No deaths at all over the past few years. I think we've been doing a fairly good job. No. As a matter of fact, nothing really serious has happened since you left. What about you? Have you found that special someone and gotten married yet? Sadly, I have not. How is that even possible? Everyone likes you. That's life. Let's just say I haven't been very fortunate when it comes to the ladies. You'll find someone. Okay, so tell me about an average day's work. If I'm going to be here for a while, I would like to know what I'm up against. Okay, let me fill you in. Give you the inside information from an inside source. There are quite a number of things that I'm normally responsible for. Mr. Lee, the village Sato, is... oh, Sato, or whatever you want to call him, is the one that assigns us our tasks. But you may not be doing the same things that I do. I can't think of any reason why I might be treated any differently. Okay, so listen up. Shh. One of the tasks I carry out most is watching over the market, directing the flow of traffic to and fro, and making sure that there are no accidents. Though it's a little outside of my usual line of duties, I sometimes collect taxes from craftsmen and traders. When I'm not doing anything, here's a very important detail. I'm usually just making rounds in the village. Making sure that nothing has been damaged. Considering how old some of the buildings are around town, it's not that unusual to see. Above all else, it is my duty to protect the Yang bands of the village. To ensure their safety, I routinely patrol the area where they all live. That's pretty much it for my duties. It sounds all simple enough, but one must always be vigilant. Sorry about it. I see. Anything else that might come up? I was once sent to Dong Nai to stand in for Mr. Kim at an official ceremony. One of the best days of my life. All of the Yangban guards are present, making the whole affair feel quite regal, actually. I have also stepped in to settle a quarrel or two and may have had to calm down a few of the village drunks, but all in all, though, it's quite peaceful here. It was pretty frustrating at first because I was so hungry for action, but in retrospect, life has been peaceful. That's how it should be. Thanks for the detailed explanation. Are you going to tell me more about what you've been doing in Hanyang for the past 3 years? Yeah, of course. How about over dinner at the Jumok tonight? It'll be my treat. Suha should be there too, so I can tell the both of you everything that happened during my time in Hanyang. An excellent idea. You could tell us over a nice meal and a few drinks. That may be just what we need to celebrate your return. I'm glad you agree. Well then, time to get back to work. I'll see you tonight. Indeed. See you tonight. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. Alright. Okay, so let's see here. Mr. Kim. The Yangban district. Sorry, my throat's already starting to go through the ringer a little bit. When I arrived at the Yangban district, I found Mr. Kim standing outside. Hello, Yuri. I see that you have returned. Good morning, sir. I just got back this afternoon. That is good to hear. I received word that you passed the examination. Congratulations, my boy. I suppose your training is complete then? Yes, sir. It is. I would like to thank you once more for giving me the chance to go to the capital. Sorry, I think I either heard a thunderstorm or something. Excuse me 1 moment. I will be right back. Sorry about that. Okay. I have no idea what that was, but okay. Perfect. Alright, we are good to go. All done. Just gonna refresh real quick. Perfect. Alright, just gonna check one more thing, then we should be good to go. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. Perfecto. Actually, probably be a good idea to save anyway. Anyway, I would like to thank you once more for giving me the chance to go to the capital, sir. It was more than I ever could have dreamed of, and the amount of skills I learned far exceeded my expectations. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed your time there. How long did the return trip take you? Almost 8 days altogether. That is quite the long trip. You must be tired. Maybe a little. Oh, to be young again. I was just like you at that age. Sorry about that. How is your family? My wife and daughter are both fine, thank you. Ah, Yuri! There you are. Good morning, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee was the Sato of Yangdong, responsible for overseeing the affairs of the village. It seems as though your journey back was an uneventful one, yes? That's right, sir. No problems at all. I was told that I was assigned here, but given no further instructions, I am ready to carry out any orders that you may have for me. I would have you rest today and tomorrow, Yuri. We can discuss your assignment after that. Visit your home, visit your friends, inform everyone of your arrival, and get your affairs in order. It must be raining right now, or storming. I have important matters to attend to. I must be off. Very well, sir. I will see you soon, Yuri. Welcome home. Thank you, sir. Mr. Kim was always so busy. It was rare that conversations with him lasted very long. Yuri, you have been granted an extraordinary privilege. You are aware of that, are you not? It is not normal to hear of a person like you going to the capital to take the military examination. However, it was Mr. Kim's decision, so I could not object. I can only hope that you will reach to the position that has been granted to you and realize just how fortunate you are. I understand, sir. You can count on me. Excuse me one second. My bad. Mr. Lee was known to be rather cold, so his lecture didn't come as a surprise. Until someone steps up with a job for you, you will be under my employ. At your 2 days leave expires, of course. Thank you, sir. I am yours to command. It sounds as though you follow orders well enough. That is good. I expect no problems to arise if that continues. Now, please, tell me what you learned during your time in Hanyang. I was in charge of a few criminal investigations, and I was told that I have a knack for it. Besides that, they said that I was skilled at cross-examining witnesses. I beg your pardon? Such skills will be of no use here. What a waste. So much time spent in the capital and nothing to show for it. Not true, sir. I am capable of a number of other tasks, like standing watch and keeping the peace. That's a start. You may be of some use surveying the Yongbon district. Regardless, we will discuss such things the day after tomorrow. I do have one question, sir. Have any sort of conflicts been known to break out in the village? Excuse me. Not really. Our village is a peaceful one. We may see the occasional quarrel between neighbors, but it is rarely necessary for soldiers to intervene in such squabbles. I believe you are close with Yunbok, are you not? You should direct such questions about day-to-day affairs his way. Will do, sir. Well, that will be all for now. Go home and rest while you can. I will do, sir. Have a good day, sir. He turned and left. Well, we may be looking at a rough path to start down, but everyone's got to begin somewhere. At least I have a day to rest. I better make the most of it because I may not be getting too many of those. Ahead. Alright. Yuri's house. The day flew by so fast. Still, I'm glad I had enough time to visit Mr. Kim and my friends. From what I can see, it doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed during my absence. Yangdong is still just a peaceful village filled with kind people. Unless something crazy happens, I predict a boring start to my new career. But that's nothing to complain about. It will give me the opportunity to put everything I learned to good use. Honestly, it's just good to be home. I can finally enjoy some peace and quiet. I enjoyed my time in the capital, but I must confess that I found the city to be a noisy place year-round. Here in the countryside, things are different. I can hear the sounds of nature, and it's even quieter out here, far from the town square. It's good to hear that my friends are doing well. Speaking of friends, I better put away my things while I have the time. I started, sorry, my voice is starting to show after a little bit. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Alright. Once again, I had to note just how considerate Suha was as I stumbled upon a bundle of fresh fruits and vegetables she left for me in the kitchen. She must have known that I had nothing to eat and shopped around while I was off talking to Yunbok and Mr. Kim. Soon after, the sun was scraping the horizon. I headed out, directing my steps towards the Jumak for my meeting with Suha and Yunbok. There he is! Hey, Yuri! Good evening, Yuri. Ah, you're both here already? Of course! Master Yuri, conqueror of the legendary Guajio exam, summoned us for dinner. Do you think we'd let you beat us here? Congratulations again, Yuri. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad to see you both again. Were you able to put your feet up at all? Excuse me. Not really, but Mr. Kim gave me the day off tomorrow, so I can rest up before starting any real work. So thankfully, I will have some time to myself. Lucky you! It's been a while since I've had a day off. With you here, maybe I'll finally get some vacation time. Who knows? Could probably actually use it not too long from now, to be honest. We can only hope. Ah, by the way, Suha, thank you for bringing over the fresh produce. You really shouldn't have. It's nothing, really. I just figured your cupboards would be bare and you probably wouldn't have any time to shop for food. Well, let's go on in then. Tonight's on me. Order whatever you'd like. Whoa! Look at Moneybags Yuri over here. Struck it rich during your big trip. Not at all. Far from it, actually. I'm just happy to see you both is all. We're happy to see you too, Yuri. Well, since it's on you and you can afford it, let's have that drink. Hey, miss. The lady who ran the Jumak came to our table. Oh, hello, dears. What can I get for the three of you? One bottle of this from me, please. Suha, what would you like to drink? I'll just have some of this, if that's alright. Are you sure? Yes, it will do me just fine. You know that I'm not much for alcohol. Fair enough. Well then, I'll join you with that same drink you had earlier, Yunbok. Anything to eat? How does this sound? That sounds great. I haven't had that in quite some time. I'll have a bowl as well. 3 bowls of this, please. Coming right up, dears. Well then, Yuri, how about we hear what happened with you when you arrived at the capital? Well, where do I even begin? Mr. Kim had given me a letter of recommendation that I was to present at the Royal Palace. But the place was so big. I knew I'd never be able to find my way alone, so I asked some of the guards patrolling the grounds for directions. When I showed up at the entrance to the palace, someone rushed straight over. He didn't seem at all surprised to see me, and I later found out that it was quite common for the Yongbans to send their young employees in for training. The person asked me about my current physical condition and said that I would have to take an evaluation test the following day. After that, I was taken to the place where I was to live for the next 3 years. It was nothing but a small enclosure outside of the palace walls, built to house the servants. Did the servants gather to greet you? I wouldn't go as far as to say that. There were quite a few people living there, but they were rather indifferent to my arrival. There were so many people coming and going that most paid no heed to newcomers or the people moving on to other things. During my time in Hanyang, I learned that the more crowded a place gets, the less people care about those around them. There's such a different energy in the air. It's almost unavoidable in a way. So you didn't make any friends? Don't get me wrong, some of the people turned out to be quite friendly. But it took time. For instance, the girls in charge of the washing were very considerate and even helped me with my laundry. Eventually, I even began to take my evening meals with the others residing in the servants' quarters. As time passed, I began to feel like I was no longer a stranger. Now that's when you met that pretty lady, right? Huh? No. Don't listen to him. That was not the purpose of my visit. What's the matter, Suha? What's the matter with me? Nothing at all. Why do you ask? Ah, never mind. Forget I even asked. That was when I began my training. Most of the time I was working with a bow and arrow, on the ground and from horseback. My instructors were always stressing how important it was to be good on horse, so I practiced riding every day. Ah, all that practice must have taken a toll on you. It did, plus the Guagio exam only takes place every 3 years. And it is further divided into 3 stages that you must pass through. Each component requires you to call upon your training and put it to good use. Plus, you'd better hope that your body is in good condition, that luck is on your side each and every day you go in for an examination. A few of the examinees fell from their horses and were immediately disqualified. That's how hard it was. Then they'll have to wait 3 more years to try again? That's right. Also, you may not be aware, but it is the king who decides the final test. Really? Then you were in the presence of the king? I was. It was almost unspeakable. Wow! I didn't even know that! After passing all 3 tests, I was sent to the Podogyeong for further training. That was where I learned the basics of how to conduct a proper investigation. In Hanyang, there are the occasional murders and robberies. When those sorts of crimes are committed, we must track down the criminals at once. In order to do so, we must investigate the scene of the crime and cross-examine any possible suspects or witnesses. That was the best part for me, piecing together the clues one at a time to uncover the truth. It was quite interesting. There's even this manual explaining the steps to follow for each and every type of crime. Sounds interesting. You've got me bested there, but I'm not sure how you're going to put such skills to use here. Did you catch any criminals? I did help the investigators solve a few cases towards the end of my stay. But I'm still just a novice, and I've got a lot to learn. However, I don't see myself being able to hone those skills if I end up staying here. You could help track down a few stray cats now and again. Very funny. Besides the investigative skills, I also learned how to patrol a set area and act as a bodyguard. It's quite common for the Yongbans to require a guard detail to escort them places. And overall, it was an enjoyable experience. It was. Quite so, actually. Of course, I missed you both and felt rather lonely from time to time, but all in all, it was a fascinating experience. I learned so many skills that I would never be able to learn elsewhere. Considering my birth in class, I consider myself fortunate to have been given such an opportunity. It sounds like you put the time to good use. I want to hear more about the capital. What was it like? You were talking about how large and crowded it was. Yes, it was enormous, and with at least 200,000 inhabitants, if I were to guess. What? Really? You heard me. 200,000. On top of that, the royal palace is the city itself, but I was never allowed inside. It is restricted to all but the royal family and the elite guards who watch over them. Excuse me. What did you do for Chuseok, then? Did you spend the holidays alone? No. There were all sorts of Chuseok events held in the city. A bit like how we do things here, actually. One time I was lucky enough to see Namsadang troupe perform on the streets of Hanyang. Wow, that's amazing! I would love to see such a performance. I also attended a unique tournament, actually. Since there are so many people living in the city, the stadium was packed with participants and spectators alike. The prize pool was also significantly larger. I will cherish the memories of my time there. The woman brought the dishes and drinks we ordered to our table. There we go, dears. There's 3 bowls of this, a pitcher of this, and a bottle of this for you two. Thank you. How about a drink for Yuri? Cheers! Cheers. Cheers! The capital seems like a nice enough place. I'm sure you would enjoy it if you ever had the chance to go. You can find anything you could possibly dream of there. There are all sorts of foods and other goods that we simply don't have here. We ate, drank, and talked for several hours. I must be heading home before it gets too late. Same here. I have to get an early start tomorrow. I had a wonderful night. Thanks, Yuri. You're welcome. I'm just glad we were finally able to spend some time together again. I'll see you home, Suha. We're heading in the same direction after all. Alright, let's go. Good night, Yunbok. Good night, you two. Okay. The sun had long since fallen, and I found myself peering this way and that as if I were Sua's bodyguard. Excuse me 1 sec. Excuse me. Okay. What are you doing, Yuri? Excuse me. Sorry, I was taught to be careful at night. I guess it's become somewhat of a habit of mine in the capital. That's very kind of you to be alert, but you know you don't need to do that. This place is far from the capital in both distance and danger. You're right. I'll work on it. Do you think you'll enjoy living here again? Life here is different from life in Hanyang. Only time will tell. For the moment, I'm just glad to be back. If you were to find it difficult to adapt, could you return to the capital? As you know, I don't think I'm in any position to be choosing where I'm assigned. True. If you were told to go back to Hanyang, you'd tell me, right? Of course. Well, here we are, Suha. Head on in. Thank you, Yuri. Have a good night. Will I see you tomorrow? Sure. I'll be around. Sweet dreams. After seeing Suha inside, I went straight home. It had been a pleasant evening with plenty of drinks to go around, but I could feel the exhaustion from the trip catching up to me. I was asleep before my head hit the pillow. Sorry about that, table. It was just to be an attempted sound effect. Day 2. Oh, sorry. 2. Yuri's house. Anyone home? Was that someone at my door? Hello? Anyone there? It's so early. Who could be calling at this hour? Officer Yuri! I threw off my blanket and rushed to the door. What's going on here? Oh, no idea. Officer Yuri, I'm so sorry to disturb you. You must come at once. What's going on? The Sato has sent for you. He says it's urgent. Okay, but why has he... Sir, there's been an incident in the village. I understand. Where am I to report? The town hall? Yes, and please hurry. I won't be more than a minute. Let me just get my things. I put on my gat and readied my horse. I jumped into a saddle, and we set up on the gallop for the Yangban district. The town hall. When I got to the town hall, Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee were waiting for me. They looked concerned. You called for me? We did, Yuri. Please have a seat. You saw Yunbok yesterday, did you not? Yes, sir, I did. Tell me, what sort of a state was he in when you saw him? Did something happen to Yunbok? The guard said that there had been an incident. For now, please focus on answering my questions. All shall be explained in time. Understood. I saw him twice yesterday. The first time we met, it was early in the morning. Well, early in the afternoon, just after I arrived. We had a short chat at his place. At night, we met once more at the Jumak, the one close to the southern gate. a short distance from my home. We had dinner together. Suha was with us too, actually. When did you part ways? It was pretty late in the evening when we said our goodbyes. You went straight home? Yes, sir. I walked Suha home and then just went straight home myself. I remember Yunbok said that he needed to get up early in the morning and that he didn't want to get to bed too late. He made it sound like he was going straight back to his place. Mr. Kim, did you instruct Yunbok to report to his duty early this morning? I did not. I see. Yuri, was Yunbok acting strange at all? No, sir. I don't believe so. Forgive me if I'm stepping out of line, but would you please tell me what's happened to Yunbok? You should tell him. Yuri, there has been a murder. One of the women of the village. She was found dead in her home this morning. What? It seems as though your return has brought with it a share of bad luck. I am truly sorry, sir. Well then, Yuri, I heard from Mr. Lee that you have learned how to carry out an investigation. Is that correct? Yes, sir, it is. Then you are to look into this affair and give us a report of your findings. Sirs, are you implying that Yunbok is a suspect? Let us not jump to conclusions without seeing the evidence first. That being said, he claimed that he had duties to carry out early this morning, though that is clearly not the case. In addition to that unsettling fact, he has disappeared from the village without a word of warning. You must see how suspicious this looks. It is your duty to uncover the truth behind this matter. We are aware of how close the two of you are, but you must remain impartial. Can we trust you to carry out this investigation in an unbiased manner? Yes, sir. You have my word. Yuri, this rumor will spread like wildfire throughout the village, and the people may start to panic. I have lived my entire life in Yangdong, but I have never experienced anything like this. Excuse me. I trust that you will do your very best to catch the person responsible for this heinous act. Could you start by giving me some information about the victim? Her name was Miss Han. She lived alone, somewhere to the north. And we believe she was murdered? There is not a doubt. Go and see the crime for yourself. Yes, sir. I shall head there once. Yuri, are you certain you are up for this task? Yes, sir. I have taken part in this exact sort of investigation. I will give it my all. Then you may go. Please, report back the instant you have any new information for us. So, it seems we have a murder investigation on our hands now. And with that, I think we will call it on this episode of Suhoshin. Thank you to everyone for watching the video. I appreciate all of you. We will pick it back up at some point in the future with more Suhoshin. I'm enjoying this. It's kind of a slow start, but I mean, once you kind of get to a certain section, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, this has been Pumpmaster Logue. We will pick it back up with the next episode, and then we'll go from there. Otherwise, I am probably actually going to switch over from this to potentially another game. So I'm going to cut the stream here a little bit, but until then, we will see you in the next one. Take care, have a good day, and we'll see you later.